just doing this. Cause that's
This is why I don't let you drive. This is why I don't let you drive.
You let me drive all the time.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Not when it comes to this.
Oh, I do not like green eggs and ham.
You don't like them, Sam? I am?
No, I do not like them, Sam. I am.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
So sorry.
Mud Pie Girl, Farmer Meemaw, Hope's Homestead.
Oh, someone got beat. Hello.
Jean. Kiwi,
Jen.
Kitty,
Jen's
Jen.
home.
Mud Pie, McFadden.
Sherry's here.
Autumn Girl.
Autumn Girls.
Lonely Prepper. Amanda. John Jones. What? What? We got John Jones.
Who's John Jones?
Get out.
Who's John Jones?
You give me your superhero card because you're
Oh,
losing.
that. Yeah. Okay.
I am so taking a corner.
Hey, Krista.
Sandy Moss.
Green Gables. Bob's in here. Cockeyed.
Mennonite Life.
Wells family. That's an interesting.
Vienna Sausage.
Sandy Moss. Midnight Live. Vina. Vina, I sent your sample today.
No, not talk about that yet. We've only been in here for a minute, 15 seconds.
It's okay. She's in here.
Kathy. Evening, folks. How y'all doing? So, I got a little bone to pick.
Uh-oh.
DW, hello. Recycled Cottage.
Hello from Texas. Tall, bald, and green.
Let
Who
it
doesn't like
snow.
fire?
I know, for real. Need a little iced tea? No. I got some. Cheers. Went to hell and I told her, but she ain't listen to me, cockeyed.
It was late on Friday, and then by the time we were leaving on Sunday, we were kind of spent. We were tired.
So, but plus, we don't have your cell phone number. We've asked you for it, but you didn't want to give it to us.
Look who's here. And
Uh-oh.
boom, I'm here.
John in the house. You know, I bet John wouldn't have done that to me.
Probably not.
Bet John wouldn't done that to me. Stacy, what's up?
Stacy Sayer.
Sheps.
For her. Let's see.
So, you guys, we almost didn't make it on.
Jen said she loved my socks on today's vlog. Yeah, I very rarely match.
Most definitely, Catherine.
Catherine.
So we almost didn't make it on, y'all. We almost were probably about that close to going to the ER.
Yeah, that gave us both numbers.
What you talking about, Willis?
When? Recently?
I don't remember. Do you remember? I don't remember.
Dolphin Man. Jason, are we really going to chew the fat?
Yep, we gonna chew on some fat today. But I was eating dinner.
Hey, Cliffy.
Cliffy.
Cliffy B.
And
you don't like having that. It's too rolly.
And as you guys know, I have a hernia.
Fatal hernia.
Right around in here somewhere. And I don't know if I was eating too fast or I called you twice. I don't remember.
Well, now we had it way back when we met you, but I wasn't able to find that.
Yeah, look, it was probably on the caller ID, and
yeah, there's no telling. Hey, Steve.
I don't write stuff like that down. So I was eating, and all of a sudden, usually when I have an attack, it's just some hiccups. I get hiccups for a few minutes, and I had to hold my hands up like this, and I got to breathe. I spit a lot, but this time they weren't going away, and all of a sudden a couple of hiccups went, and I couldn't breathe anymore.
Yeah, he was panicking. Hey, Mama.
And it got worse and worse, and I had to make myself throw up, and then they went away for a little bit, And then they came back. And then I went to the witch doctor.
I really wish you wouldn't call me that.
And let me tell y'all something. I'll openly admit, I was pretty much in a full-blown panic.
He was in a full panic attack.
I was not full panic.
Yes, you were.
I could not breathe.
He couldn't breathe.
Look, the most I could breathe was like this.
Yeah, he was taking very, very shallow breaths. Like, he was in full panic mode. Yes, you were.
You haven't never seen me.
Whatever. Okay.
And
I've been married to you for how long, and I've never seen you.
Not long enough, because you ain't seen me in full panic mode yet.
Anyway.
See, this is why people get DDT'd on live streams. But, anyway. What was I talking about before you interrupted me again? Oh, you're allowed to throw a little fit on your live show, but
yeah.
I can't.
Oh.
I can't even remember what I was talking about.
So you couldn't breathe, and you were in a full panic, and then you went to the witch doctor. You said,
yes. Look, if you guys do not have her peppermint essential oil, we got a spoon. Okay, because after I puked, they went away for a little bit, but then they came back. Okay, and it started getting back that way again. Well, she took the spoon, and first she smacked me with it, but then she put
I did no such thing.
And then she put a drop of fractionated coconut oil, and then a drop of peppermint essential oil on there. And then she made me stick my thumb in it and the roof of my mouth,
just like how he does his
my frankincense. And
but I diluted it so it didn't burn his roof of his mouth.
They were gone. Now, here's the thing. Because of osmosis, I knew a little bit, and I went and got the peppermint, because first she put the Digest Zen on that, and that helped out a little bit, but that got me calm enough to where I could puke, because I think something might have been caught in the hernia. And so,
and the problem with the Digest Zen is it's diluted, so I think that kind of it was effective, but not as effective as the. And
so, the Digest Zen got it calmed down enough so that I could, and I blew a chunk like that.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
And so we got everything calmed down. I mean, I couldn't even take a sip of water without it starting up again. And so I got some water down. Well, I walked over there to where she had all of her witchcraft juice, and I grabbed the peppermint oil, and I started huffing it.
Because he knows
like a teenager with a gas can.
Because he knows
I was huffing it.
Right. Because he knows that it'll soothe his stomach, so he thought, well, it's worth a shot.
And so I was huffing it for a little bit, and then I gave it to her, and then Blaze came back with his stuff, and I'm like, they're gone. Huffing it worked. And Blaze was like, cool. And so I went, and then I started hiccuping again anyway.
Because the spasm, right.
And I haven't had one since. And that was only, what, 5 minutes ago?
If not 10. It was less than 10 minutes ago. Because we thought, well, it's been a little bit more than that now because we've been here 8. But but basically,
now I'm hurting all in here. I mean, just from the muscles and stuff. I'm sore.
Yeah.
But yes, I can. I can always revoke her card. So, but my baby saved my monkeys. She saved my monkeys.
Yeah, he likes to call me the witch doctor.
Yeah, I just like to do that.
He likes to pick on me.
I like to pick on her.
Because the first thing I do when he starts acting up with whatever it is he's got going on, I start grabbing oils, and he's like, ugh!
Sometimes I just wanna be upset, and I wanna scream.
Or he starts, like he'll get to panicking about something, and not like, okay, I'm using panic a little bit different. He'll start to getting to where he's not comfortable, and so he doesn't have gallbladder issues because he ain't got no gallbladder. It's not an issue anymore. He does have GERD. But the thing is that it's so very rare that like this happens very few and far between.
Yeah. This one, I'll admit, this one did scare me because, after so many years of this happening to me, I'm kind of used to it. I'm like, all right, stop eating, breathe. It's almost like how you always tell your kids when they start coughing real bad, put your hands up.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's one of the good things that, and maybe NSA turns my webcam on and maybe they get a good laugh. But sometimes I'm sitting in here and I'm like, right, and I got my hands up, but
we used peppermint oil and fractionated coconut oil. You don't have to use fractionated. You can just melt regular coconut oil if you need to. But I needed this quick because he was getting to a point where he was really worked up.
I was starting to get a little dizzy and lightheaded. Yeah. Can we turn it off? I'm hot. Are you hot?
No, it's all right.
Thank you. And so, but Mom's Essential Oils saved the day. So we were here. We was able to come in just in time to catch a little bit of Wayne's show.
And get in trouble.
And ask him about the hat that John told me about. And
hey, pooper skipper.
It's like, I mean, I don't know. Y'all that were in Wayne's show when he put on that hat. Y'all
leave him alone.
Look, you don't understand how it looked.
Jason, do you know about our military have to be chipped by 2020 to get on base?
Now, see, that doesn't surprise me at least a little bit.
Wow.
Ain't getting a chip nowhere near me unless it's got like sour cream and onion on it.
So,
or barbecue.
Stacy asked what got me into oils. We have a friend that we met. Yeah, she's a nurse. And
that hat is not cool. He looks like something stepped straight out of a 1920s flick, like Laurel and Hardy. And it comes up, it's a narrow brim hat, and it just sits up like right here. That's not what a bush hat's supposed to do.
Well, maybe it's not a bush hat.
It looks just like mine, but a narrow brim.
I'm going to have to see it. I didn't get the chance to see it. But anyway, so I have this friend. We met her through all of the raising animals when we were down in the Augusta area, and she was using them on herself a little bit, and her husband had some issues, and so she was using them, and it was all she could talk about. And we were all kind of like, okay, she's a little crazy. She's been on the sauce or something. But so she just kind of did what I do now, is she kind of just treated me for something. I don't even remember what it was.
I think it was your arthritis, because she made us see down in Augusta. There's so many people there. No. It's
Anyway.
You just got saved again.
Okay, anyway, go ahead.
I'll tell you what, Mother's Day, Wayne,
Jason, focus.
She better get something.
Focus.
But she would do just like how we do. She just would hand us samples, and then we would use them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the stuff started working, and then we started asking more questions, and then we started going to their classes.
But now keep in mind, this is something, it was like 3 years in the making. This wasn't like she handed it to us and 2 months later I was like, I'm sold.
Yeah.
This was like 3 years later. Yeah. We had talked about it a little bit, and then every once in a while she would show back up, because she wasn't like best friend or anything. She's just somebody that we were in the same circles with. And she said, she would just, every once in a while, she would mention it. And finally, Jason said to me, he said, so, you want to try and just go ahead and get some? Because basically what happened is Jason was trying to go to the VA, and they kept trying to pump him full of medication. And this kind of segues into what he was dealing with tonight. What?
I was getting the back treatments done with
That's what I was just getting ready to say. Your shots that you were getting, used to throw your hiatal hernia into a hissy,
Oh yeah.
and you would be, I mean, what, 4 or 5 hours of hiccups?
Sometimes 12 and 24.
Yeah, and so basically what happened is we just started looking at, there had to be other ways to treat his issues and to help alleviate some of the pain, some of the stress, anxiety, all of that stuff. Because sitting in a corner and just waiting for the day to go by and have somebody feed you with a pokey stick isn't, isn't really living. So, and Jason sometimes didn't even want to leave the house, and we just couldn't have that. So we just started looking for other, other options. And so we talked to her, and she helped us get signed up with where we're at now. And
it's all been downhill from there.
Well, and then that first year, I basically set up to where I could start, getting more oils and trying more things.
And we started experimenting. And
I just started taking the leap to being able to trust that this oil would work or that oil would work. And it just kind of snowballed from there.
So.
Okay, wait. Lorelai was asking, since she was putting together something for a friend's cancer benefit to raffle, what oils would you recommend for the basket? Well, if this is for something where it's just like a giveaway kind of thing, and you don't really know who's going to get it, where it might be somebody who's never used oils before, I would do something like a lemon, lavender, peppermint kind of thing, because that trio is pretty popular and very useful for all different types of applications. So if you were going to do something, that would be my suggestion. No, it did not make it to my house yet. Nope. I have not seen it yet, Donna.
At this point in time, when it shows up, we may just drive it up there.
It may, yeah.
Just so that way you can get it faster.
We haven't seen it, so.
But y'all, Wayne and I were picking back and forth, and he got the best of me tonight. He got me good tonight. Wait, see, this is what y'all don't know. I started picking on him about that hat.
Uh-huh.
And then he put me in timeout.
Uh-huh.
And so I went and sent him a couple of Skype messages, but I was like, there's no way he's going to be able to see those Skype messages. So I went to his Facebook, and I started putting pictures of me on his Facebook wall. I put one with me with the big coyote, one with some, like a couple of them with some beavers and stuff. And I said, you may be able to put me in timeout on YouTube, but I can still find your Facebook. Bam! He blocked me. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
I did not know you could stay friends with somebody and block them temporarily.
I guess so.
So I'm going to have to look into that.
So B-Lady says up in her neck of the woods that they actually allow the teachers to diffuse in the classrooms. And in some other areas, they don't.
Hey, 95472. I know who your real name is. But.
Y'all should come pick blackberries in a couple weeks. Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
There ain't going to be no blackberries left. We finna get snow.
No, we're not. We're not getting snow.
We're getting snow.
Hope says she's tired already. She's been tired today. But yeah,
Hope, did you ever do that thing that you said you was gonna do?
Lorelai, I've heard of people diffusing. Lavender will put them to sleep.
Going Betty, what's up?
But a good one is
No, he didn't unfriend me. He put I guess there's a temporary block because when I was getting ready to leave to come get ready for my show, I was like, well, great show, Wayne. I'll hit you up on Facebook. Oh, wait, I can't. And he smiled and he started giggling. So he knows something about Facebook I don't know. And he said, aw, it's only temporary. So he knows something about Facebook I don't know. And he's going to spill it. He's going to spill it.
Mm-hmm. So, let's see. Roxanne, that's awesome. Essential oils with Epsom salts, that's always a good thing. Oh, Lorelai, what I was saying about with the oils for classrooms, a lot of times they'll do, what did I say I was going to do? You can use... you can use other things like rosemary is really good. Lemon is really good for focus. So a lot of times it's not necessarily to calm them down. It's to get them to kind of focus in on what they're supposed to be doing.
C-Dean.
Wow, C. Dean says we're being chipped at our post.
Wow. But.
Yeah, wild orange.
Or make up a blend like it's Hogwarts. That's awesome. Oh, you gonna tell, Wayne. You gonna tell. Because remember, I'm coming in June.
Oh, the bushes we have around here vanished. Oh, that stinks.
So, but I was gonna transplant all of my tomatoes this weekend. The rest of the peas.
And the temperature has been quickly dropping all day
long. And so I said, you know what? I think we just gonna transplant them into. Mom found a deal at. Ooh, are you allowed to say that with Nicole? Because isn't it our competition?
I don't think she really cares.
At the other dollar store. Gotta keep that between us. So Nicole from Simply 7 won't know. But there's these cute little cups that she got, and they were biodegradable. So we transplanted a lot of them out of the seed starters into that one. Basically out of the Jiffy Strips into these little ones. And now they're going to be sitting on the table. And
no, he said he sent the Skype messages. You obviously weren't listening. What did I say I was going to do?
You didn't catch my hint? I wasn't gonna. Oh, sweet baby Jesus.
Do you have any trapping videos coming up?
Going batty? No, trapping season is over. But we got some fur handling videos going on. We started tanning a raccoon hide for a certain other channel that's deep in the south of Mississippi. Because we're making a certain gentleman, aka
oh, she's on a double shift.
Mr. President, a coonskin cap because we were going to give it to him for his birthday. We promised it for him for his birthday last year, and we had to wait.
The last ones.
We had to wait for trapping season to get here, which was December, and during archery season, during deer hunting, I spotted the coon. I said, "That's the coon." And if you don't hunt or trap or anything, it's kind of hard to relate. But when you're out there and you see a critter, you're like, that's the one.
That's the one I want.
That's the one. And so this was a big boar coon that I said, that's perfect for Danny's hat. He had really nice coloring, the whole nine. I mean, if you picture a raccoon in your brain housing group, then bam, this is what he would look like. And we showed you guys the pictures of when we caught him. We caught him, and he was still sitting down on the log. He was smart enough not to get drowned. Now he was wet, but he was like, "No, I'm just gonna hang out."
Oh, Laura's helping you out. Go to more on Facebook privacy settings.
And
yes, ma'am, Tanya. I'll take care of it.
And so then we got it. And so. What's so funny?
I don't understand hints. I am not that smart. I thought we talked about this. Yeah, my peach tree is in full bloom too.
And so then we had to, once we caught him, we had to skin him, and then we fleshed him, and then he had to dry. We had to completely dry the hide. The hide had to dry completely. And I was talking. And what's so funny?
The last comment.
See, this is how people get put in timeout. And so I was talking to a friend of mine. And I was talking about I was getting ready to go brain tan Danny's thing, and he's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Because that's how you tan it." And he's like, "No."
No.
And so he talked me into trying this other way. So if Deep South is in here, if this doesn't work, it's not my fault. Blame this guy. But so then I had to order the stuff that he told me to get. So we got it. Finally got it. It seemed like that took forever. And then it had to sit, and it's been sitting for about 8 days. And so we're going to take it out tomorrow, and we got to wash it again to get all of the alum and salt and everything off of it. And then we got to let it drip dry. And then we start breaking it. Now that's probably going to take a couple of days of breaking it really good, and then comes over to Mom, and she'll make the hat, and then road trip.
Mm-hmm.
Beep, beep.
That should be fun. I wonder if you can dye alligator hide nice cerulean blue. I bet. I bet they can. They've got to be able to dye the leather at home. He's a famous groupie. You're a famous groupie. Be nice. They're funny. They're allowed to be funny.
So that's what we're going to do with that. Now, we are going to be, on that note, we are going to be adding some different fur garments to our website store.
Garments?
Well, what else you call
garments? Accessories. They're not garments. You're not going to be wearing them. I mean, I guess you're talking about a habit.
You're so going to make that raccoon coat we saw.
I am not making that raccoon coat.
We have Coyote's help. Okay? There is a trap. It is called the MB550. If you go on to my Predator Control in the Homestead video, canines, because coyotes, foxes, they're both wolves, they're all dogs. And so...
No boots, no purse, no alligator.
And so you can trap them all the same way. But this trap comes from Minnesota Trap Line. Mm-hmm. And it comes ready right out of the box.
Right out of the box.
You wash it.
Wash it.
You basically take it to the car. I would take it to the car wash. You run it through the car wash, the pressure washer or pressure washer. Spray it off. What's up, Two Family? And then you dye it, wax it, figure out how you're going to anchor it. For example, they have bullet anchors that you can drive into the ground if you don't have a rocky ground or anything like that. I'm going to get a welder, and I'm switching to drags because...
No, it's not a coon trap. That's a big canine trap.
Because here, I live in the granite capital of the world. And anywhere I go in Georgia, Alabama, Carolina, anything to trap around my area to whether I'm getting paid to go over there and trap or whether I'm just going over there to get the critter. Look, those bullet stakes get expensive.
And it's a pain.
And so if you're driving it down and it hits some granite and jumps this way and then you lock it, you ain't never getting it back out because it's also going to catch on that granite as it's coming back up or that rock. And I'm not sitting there digging it out. I'll cut it away. And so with the drag, at least with the drags, you put a long chain on it, you put a tension spring on it, and you take the drag far enough away, you put it down in the first layer of the ground, and yes, I may have to track him for 25 yards, but that's okay. I'll do it. Because it's better than tracking, it's easier to track him 25 yards than to spend an hour and a half, 2 hours trying to dig that stake up out the ground when the season's over. So... And so that all depends on your area, but that video should help you get started. I also have videos on how to make a flat set and how to make a dirt hole set. Those are prime perfect sets for coyotes.
Coyotes, yeah.
Now,
However,
there's also a scent post set that works really good. And at this time of year, the scent post set's going to be your best. And when you go to order your traps at Minnesota Trap, or through Amazon, if you go through our Amazon link, which I would really appreciate, also get yourself, and this is going to sound a little gross, but get yourself some coyote urine. Okay, because it's mating time.
Palmetto said he's in the market for a young male that can lift at least 80 pounds. We got one for sale. Just kidding. Since we're all selling kids here.
And so get that, and then what you do is you put a post in the ground, or you find an old stump or a fence post or something. You spray that urine on there. Put that on there. Or if you have a dog that you trust, follow your dog. Okay, when he's where the area the coyotes are at, where you're going to be trapping, keep your dog on a leash or something, and go watch your dog. Wherever he or she pees, put a trap.
Mm-hmm.
Put a trap right there in that spot where your dog just peed, because if you've got coyotes in your area, they're going to come to that, and then they're going to try to pee over top of that.
Over top of it, right.
Okay? So you put your trap, like if he was to pee... If there's a lump of grass right here, and your dog, like if Apollo was to come over, lift his leg and pee right here, I'm putting my trap right there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and I'm not going to bait it or scent it or anything. I'm just going to bed it down, cover it back up, and walk away.
Walk away, come back.
Now, here's another trick that you can use, okay? Because trapping is starting to get popular again. And there's people that'll watch a couple of YouTube videos, and they'll go out and give it a go. And that's exactly what they should do. Okay, I'm not saying that's bad. No, that's exactly what you should do, because trapping is different each time you come out and set that trap. If somebody tells you they're a trapping expert, I kind of back up.
Donna said that you catch a neighbor the next time they pee.
Because each animal, each coyote that you're going after, each one has a different personality. Each one has a different education level. Each one is different level in the pack. Okay? So
Roxanne's the one that asked, right?
Yes.
She said, did that yesterday. Oh my God, he peed every 5 feet.
Yep. So
there you go. You know exactly.
Yeah. And so what happens is you go out there, okay, but what I'm saying is sometimes people don't get these traps bedded right, and the coyote will step on that, and he'll feel it, and he'll move, and he'll just get nipped on his toenails, or barely get caught on the bottom part of a pad. And now he's educated.
It makes him that much harder to catch.
So now he could be walking up to go pee on that grass, and something catches his eye, and he goes, oop, hold up. And then he'll start to circle. Okay? So this is how you get him when you're doing that. Because his attention, okay, here's your lump of grass. Here's your trap. His attention is now on that trap, because now he's thinking, hey, is that pinchy thing again? Or what? And so he's looking at it, and as he's circling. So what you do is on different spots around that bush, and at different distances from the bush. Because what coyotes will do is they'll start wide, and then they start circling in, and then they start coming in. Okay? Kind of like a tornado forming as it, and then it starts to get tighter. Okay? Same coyote does the same thing. So you do it at different distances. Okay? Now, when you do stuff like that, be prepared that sometimes when you come back, you may have 4 or 5 coyotes right there.
Yeah, and I've seen that a lot. Dog is barking every time something moves. I can hear them communicating.
And have video. Oh, share them.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Roxanne, if you're not comfortable here telling us where you are,
you can send
me a message. If you're not too far away, I can come out and give you a real quick class once your traps and stuff get there to help you out, if you like. But that just depends on how far away you are. You know, if you're like a day's drive, I got no problem doing that. What's up, Destiny?
Hey, Destiny.
But yeah, and because we've done it. That's an old Hallbaker's, Stanley Hallbaker. He's the one that I learned it from his book.
Yeah. And that book, let me tell you, if you don't have that book, do you have a link to that book? You need to have a link to that book, because that book, I'm telling y'all, it's like, I mean, Jason's been trapping for years, since he was like old enough to hold his grandfather's boot and walk without tripping. And I mean, he should know just about everything there is to know, but he still goes back to that book. And it might be something that he did 10, 15 years ago. He just has to remember. So, Lost Dude, I need your email. I mean, not your email, your mailing address.
Coastal North Carolina. We can come.
I have your sample from last week. Well, Coastal North Carolina means they're close
to Mama.
Somewhere,
we can come up there when when we go to take her box. We can swing by there.
Look, she said Roxanne, they can do it when they bring my mistake.
Yep. So coyotes are very challenging. They're very fun to catch because they're such a challenge. I can only imagine how big of a challenge catching a wolf would be, because it's a bigger canine. It's probably a smarter canine. And let me tell you, I mean, there's no better feeling, at least to me, for me, out on the trap line.
Through email. Cool.
When I'm walking up and there's a big dog bouncing.
The best was that year that we caught it.
I was just getting ready to say that. We were here, what, 1 year? What were we here? That was our first year or second year?
I think our first year.
Might have been our first year here. We have a neighbor. Great guy. His family has been in the Elberton area since pre-Revolutionary War, like 1600s, I think he said.
Elizabeth, I mailed your oils this morning. They should be there in a couple days.
And our cow Daisy jumped the fence and fell in love with his big Hereford.
Big Hereford.
Well, we got to talking, and he said, you know what? It's a human.
Yeah, I was just going to say a human. Yep.
We got to talking, and he said, let your cow stay here. Just when trapping season comes, come thin out these coyotes I got.
I mean, he let our cow stay for like 10 months. The corners, that because it's as close as she can get to them.
Yep. That, and she doesn't really want to get that close. She knows her size limits. But we went over there, and that first year, it snowed here.
Where is Let It Snow at?
I don't know. Up north somewhere, I think.
Let it snow. Let us know where you're at. Because don't ever count us out. We're all about
coming.
People are the only animals that don't know they're being
Hello,
hunted.
Miss Atkins. Windswept Homestead.
That's been a while.
You know what? I have to look something up.
Palmetto, my child, you set out popcorn. Here she comes.
I have to check something real quick.
Why?
Because I promised somebody something, and I'm trying to remember. Okay.
Whoa.
All right. Let me copy this link.
What is that?
Okay, you guys, let me take a second because I just remembered something, and
they're not here. That's not okay.
Windswept Homestead reminded me because his name is close. I was helped by the weekend homestead this last week. I was having
his name Will, I think.
I was having some issues with my Facebook, and Mr. Will helped. I mean, not my Facebook. We were talking on Facebook, but he helped me for my YouTube. I was having issues with tags and stuff like that. So, if y'all have not seen The Weekend Homesteader, please go over to his channel and sub. And check out this one video of his. I'm going to put the link right there. You guys go check out that video when we can. Insomnia Club, it's happening tonight. And you know what I'm talking about. It's going to be making a run for the border if you guys are not.
So Let It Snow is in the Cascade Mountains in Washington State.
Isn't that where, Yoish, what's his name?
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
Mick Dodge.
Mick Dodge. Isn't that Mick Dodge's neck of the woods?
I don't know.
But y'all go check out Will. Do me a favor. Hit him up. You know, tell him Big Bear sent you over there. Tell him thank you for helping me. Because I was like this close to shutting my YouTube down. I was just about done with it.
I love her. I love you, Clary Sage. You have no idea how true that statement really is.
And so I would appreciate it if y'all do that for me.
Is his page like a gentleman's farm?
I think so.
It does look that.
Yeah. And so, anyway. Back talking about what we were talking about before that. Yotes? Still? Was I still talking about
you're
yotes?
still talking. Well, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, sort of. But, yeah. But a coyote is... I was talking about catching that big one.
Rain Country is in, Washington State.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when we first moved here, you let the cow stay over there.
So we let the cow stay over there, and trapping season came. And I was chomping at the bit because I don't like to be in anybody's debt. I was and I loaded up his area. And we were up there every day checking traps. And at first, we didn't catch much of anything. I was tearing up the possum. I was getting so frustrated. I caught like 40-some possums over this man's property. And skunks. Oh, my God. Because every morning. And this is one of the bad things about trapping. It really is. If you can go out and you can make the absolute picture perfect set. I mean, bam, you just know you're going to have an alpha male canine in that set because you're the man. You done everything by the book. You come back the next morning and there's a stinking possum in that set. It happens all the time. Or you come back and you got a dead possum there because the possum got in the track and the coyote went, oh, lunch. Had that happen a couple of times. But we were just tearing up the possums. And then the skunks started coming in.
That was frustrating.
And I'm like, I'm never going to catch a single dog out of here. And this guy's going to be like, you owe me a stud fee because you didn't catch one.
Because we had never, in all of the time that I had known you, up until we moved up here, I had never seen a skunk. I had only smelled them when they got hit by a car. And we got up here, and it was I hit them with my car all the time. They were
filled
everywhere.
up the fur shed with possum fur and skunk
fur. Yep.
And so then it snowed. Then I caught this one skunk, and I was so frustrated with him. And I was like, bah! Well, really, I pulled the truck around, and because the wind was blowing this way.
Yep.
And so I pulled the truck around downwind. Okay?
Hey, Anita.
Got out, left the door open. The two girls were in the back seat. And I said, oh, another skunk. And I grabbed my .22 pistol. That was my granddaddy's pistol, by the way. I got my granddaddy's pistol, so I'm very happy about that. I'm very proud. But the problem is, they don't make .22 rounds like they used to. And I'm having a hard time finding ones that'll fit in the chamber because it's a little 6-banger. So, that's a different thing. So I grabbed it and went, pop! And as soon as the gun went off, the wind changed.
Yep.
It was like God said, ha ha, watch this. And that skunk sprayed that neon spray. I mean, as soon as I squeezed the trigger, bam, I felt the wind change. And I hauled butt around to the backside of the truck.
Listening to the girls tell this story is hilarious.
And it went neon green. Because if anybody ever seen a skunk spray, you know it's neon green. Neon green. And the girls were like, oh, it's so pretty. their eyes were like this big. Because by this time, I was back around on the other side of the truck.
Their eyes watering.
Their eyes got real big. Remember, the door was open. So all of that went right inside the truck. They started coughing and hacking. I'm opening up the other door, snatching them out. And so I knew what I had to do. Okay? He got done spraying, walked over there, took him out of the trap, threw him in the back of the truck, real quick, remade the set. Mm-hmm. And then I stuck another one down off to the side. Mm-hmm. It snowed. Yep. Well, a couple of days went by. We didn't really catch anything. Mm-hmm. And it snowed. And I went, that's it. I know. We're going out. Grab the trapping baskets because we're not going to be able to drive up this hill because
knew we weren't going to drive.
My truck's only a two-wheel drive.
Yeah.
And I said, grab trapping baskets. Let's go. And so we're walking down. We go past this pond, and there's a pair of dog tracks. Mm-hmm. And I went, look at this right here. This whole time, they've been running this road. And they come.
Now, we had seen the tracks before, but.
Then they went to go up the road, but one went this way, and the other one went up towards my track. Mm-hmm. And I went, I wonder if they would kind of trail something, because when they get in packs like that, they'll do that. They'll try to come around and they'll outflank it. And so we got up there, and I kept following, and he kept going right towards my track.
You were walking so fast, we couldn't even keep up with you.
And my pace started picking up, because I knew I had a lot of things going for me. One, I paid attention to the weather, and it was calling for it to get cold. So I also put what's called a long distance call out. Yeah. That call itself has a lot of skunk essence in it to be able to reach out further to get these animals' attention. And what you do is you kind of put it up high on a little sapling tree or up high on a branch or rub it on a tree. I mean, it stinks.
It stinks really bad.
But it's reaching out there to get their attention.
Mm-hmm. And because of the skunk spray.
I was getting ready to go there.
Sorry.
Because I had that, and then that skunk sprayed all over that area. So I got all kinds of reasons for him to go, hey, what the hell's going on over here? Then, when I reset the trap, I had some white rabbit fur from our meat rabbits with it. Mm-hmm. And I took a big honking chunk like that. And I went, and I moved the log back, and I took a big old nail, and I drived it through the fur into the ground, put the log back on top. Mm-hmm. Then I put little bits of other attractant lure on there.
Didn't you have some feathers or something?
That was in the one up there.
Oh, the other one, yeah.
And I said, if he comes within a quarter of a mile of this place, I've got him. Mm-hmm. As long as another stinking skunk doesn't get in here or a possum, get there first. I got him. And these tracks were going straight there. And so I'm almost.
He was almost in a run
up this hill.
Up a hill, yeah. It was
my big fat butt was running
in the snow.
In the snow, trapping basket on the pack, and as soon as I come off the crest of the hill, I seen him, and I just threw my hands up.
He was like, "Yes!" And I was like, "What are you cheering about?" We got up there, and he was so.
Let it snow. Get a hold of Kitty, and she will send you, put you on the list to get you in.
Information to get you, yeah.
And so there was this big honking coyote, and let me see. I can pull that picture up. I know I can. This big coyote. Let me get him real quick, y'all. Was in my trap.
It's almost like you know where it is.
Okay? That big boy right there was in my trap. And I was extremely happy.
He was a big, big, big dog. Yeah, he is huge. He's a big dog.
I had to, after we dispatched him, I had to pick him up, and I had to you remember how they used to show Charles Ingalls carrying a deer out of the woods where he used to wrap it around his shoulders and hold on to the feet.
That's what he had to do to carry.
That's what I had to do to get him out.
Yep.
And he had a buddy with him, and to this day,
still haven't caught him.
Now I'm wondering if he is the black. The other one is the black one.
Yeah.
There is a huge black one running
with a
around
silver
here.
tail
and chest.
Yeah.
And I want him bad.
It is red.
Yeah.
He's got a brown red coat.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
His fur did not, unfortunately, and here's the bad thing. Unfortunately, when I skinned him out, the largest wire stretcher they make, he was bigger than it.
They're saying it looks like a dog instead of a yoke. No, he was a yoke. I'll tell you.
He's all yoke.
Even more, when Jason was showing, we went to a teaching.
I had to teach farmers in North Georgia. I went up with the Georgia Trappers Association to be part of a group that was teaching them.
Mm-hmm.
And boop, Palmetto just hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
I was bragging, and I showed this to one of the game wardens. He said, close your phone.
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that.
And I'm like, well, man, you better look at this coyote. And he's like, he goes, dude, that might not be a coyote. And I'm like, what do you mean?
Could be a coy wolf.
He said it could be a coy wolf, a coyote mixed with a red wolf, or he could just be a smaller red wolf.
Yeah.
And I said, oh. And he goes, and they're protected. And I said, well, how am I supposed to know? He said, you're not. I said, because there's no way I was going to turn this guy loose on my neighbor's property who basically has given me now 2 cows because he's let my cow get knocked up by his Hereford bull twice. That I'm going to turn this animal loose that's killing his calves. I know the 3 S's. Ain't going to happen. And he said nobody would really come after you for it. He said because the only way that they could really tell is if they pulled DNA. And he said ain't nobody going to go through that trouble.
But that's what they said.
Yeah. But it is what it is. You know what? Because this big guy would have no trouble. He would have had no issues of attacking Ladessa or Carol.
Well, and the thing is what he was doing was taking out calves. See, that's why he wanted Jason to come out there, is because he was losing calves each year to these coyotes. And so that was part of the reason why he was more than willing to let us, breed our cow over there, because he knew that we were going to keep his...
Amanda, I don't have it right off the top of my...
let it snow. Just email us. We'll get you in contact with her. Don't worry about it.
We'll get you email us at bigbearfarms@hotmail.com. bigbearfarms@hotmail.com, and we'll get you in there tonight.
Y'all are fellow members of the Lime and Shovel Club.
Yes, most definitely.
Shoot, shovel, and shh. Yeah.
But and see, and here's the thing. Look, I don't have.
Bee lady, that's right.
I don't have many neighbors. If a dog, now this is how bad it's gotten, at least here in Georgia. I don't know about anywhere else, but here in Georgia, game wardens will tell you, a dog without a collar, shoot it.
Done. Yeah.
Drop it. Let it lay. Boom. Be done with it. If it's got a collar, let it alone. Because a lot of people, especially since the Great Recession, aka Depression,
whatever,
people couldn't take care of their animals. And so instead of taking them to the shelters, or if shelters were packed, whatever, they didn't have a place to go with them, they were taking them out to the country and dropping them off.
Right.
And your domesticated dog, even Apollo, he is a canine. And canines, once they're out there, they'll start getting in a pack. And then they'll develop their hierarchy. One will become the alpha male. And then,
when they're
boom,
hungry,
what's going to happen? This pack's going to interact with this pack. Next thing you know, you got coyotes and dogs in a breeding. You got coy dogs. Now, you have a coyote that has a very limited fear of human beings. So what does that mean? If there's 10 or 15 of them and you're coming down and out of the deer stand, there was a guy in South Georgia that was beaver trapping that got killed by a pack of domesticated dogs when he was bringing his beavers out of the swamp.
Yep.
So
if it has a collar, I shoot warning shots first.
And there has been packs of dogs that if I wouldn't have had my 45 on my side, Ladessa would not be here with us today. Because this homestead here was basically vacant for almost a year before we moved in here. And so they kind of had run of the place, you know? And
I think, Dean, I think everybody's got a problem with that because everywhere we've lived a bunch of different places and we always seem to run into that.
Yeah. So, yeah,
I'm telling you, that's why this farmer let us breed our cow twice because Jason kept his calves from being attacked and dead.
Because he does grass-fed beef and then he takes it to auction. So I probably saved that man probably $20,000 or $30,000
over the years that because I mean calves. He told us that when we went to go set, he had already lost two. Yeah. Yeah. Sheriff deputy told me I can shoot any stray dog on my place, collar or not.
Yeah.
Well, because there's a leash law in Georgia, so.
Well, it depends on the county. Some counties don't. Most counties have them, but if the county doesn't have them, then there's no leash law.
There you go.
So, all right, it's getting close to head on over to Deep South Homestead. I want you guys to go and start periodically checking our website. We are going to be putting up some sale pages for Robin's Essential Oils book, and then we've got a surprise book that we're working on that I think you guys are really, really going to enjoy. So be checking those out. Once they're up and running, we will be running deals for people who order before the book is ready to come out. You'll be getting a little, basically, extra stuff. And so if any of you guys need any help with any type of trapping or anything, you guys know, shoot me a message. We'll help you out the best way that we can.
Hey, Kitty.
Hey, Kitty, we need to Let It Snow in Insomnia.
We need to get in contact with Let It Snow.
So we basically got 3 minutes left.
There it is.
So if you guys... Go for Green going to show up with 3 minutes left.
He always does that.
I know. But see, I kind of we missed his show last night because of what we had going on.
Yeah.
So we didn't get to really see anybody's thing. So, y'all, I am so thankful that I'm here, not at the ER. I'm so thankful that I got to spend this last hour with you guys. I hope I helped out. What was her name?
Yes, they got mailed this morning, Rebecca. I mailed out everything this morning that I could. Who? Roxanne.
Miss Roxanne, I hope I helped you with your coyote thing. Help me build a
deadfall for a deer.
I'm not even talking to you, Pooper Scooper. So, you guys, if you have any oils questions, you know to send those questions to bigbearfarmsoils@hotmail.com. It's bigbearfarmsoils@hotmail.com. If you want to be a part of the Insomnia Platoon later this evening after America's Homestead, please either email us or Kitty
right there.
At what she just put that in there, and she's giving you instructions. Tell us your YouTube name. We'll send you the link because that one goes unlisted because people like to share personal things. And those do stay unlisted and get deleted most of the time. You guys, let's see. Don't forget, Mom's Oils class on Monday. essential oils class. And be looking for all of those clues on the Instagram throughout Monday. So that way you guys can win your free sample.
We got a good one coming on Monday.
And I think I'm allowed to give away 3 samples again this week. So,
yeah, this is a...
All right. 9
Suburban,
o'clock.
2 hours. Not 1 hour, 2 hours.
Y'all head on over to Deep South. Tell them I said hello. I'm going to go try to finish dinner, so I'm not going to make it over there. But tell them I said hello. And
Mama, I'm going to go check my messages.
You guys have a wonderful night, and we'll see you guys in a little while with Insomnia. Thank you. Love you. See you soon.